Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1966 Olivetti Lettera 32. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Up top are the margins, right behind the carriage. And I'm going to set this left one on 0 and this right one about 75 or 80 is about the length of the page. And this is the paper support arm that flips up from the back. And this is the paper bill that sits on top, holds the page down. It's got 2 rollers and a scale on it, tell you exactly what space you're on. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit this line space, gets you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 2, or 3 spaces. Right now we have it on 1. If you want double, there's a switch right here. It's got 1, 2, and 3 labeled on it. Skips 2, 1 more, it skips 3. That works good. We're going to keep that on single and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line to switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side here. You flip that down to the red dot and it prints the bottom portion of the ribbon. When you have it in the middle, it doesn't print any ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. And if you have it up top, it prints the top portion of the ribbon. So now we're going to put it down for the bottom portion of the ribbon. This is about as smooth as it gets. This feels like you're typing on a computer keyboard. And it looks like it too. Super modern, way beyond its years. 1966, this looks like a 2025. Absolutely beautiful. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right side here. You just flip it forward and it unlocks the rollers, allowing you to pull the page out easier or load thicker paper like carbon copy or card stock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page or else it won't load correctly. We're going to flip this down. For now, shift on each side and the shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Backspace on the right side. Beautiful. On the top left, there's a blank key. That's the margin release. You get to the end of the margin and it locks the key so you can't print. If you hit that margin release, it'll allow you to go all the way to the end. And when you hit these keys, it just feels so good. I don't know why. I type on typewriters every day. That's what I do for a living. And I just love this typewriter. Look how skinny the space bar is. Like, super cool. Made in Italy, by the way. The red button is your tab. So right now we have tabs set on every 10 spaces. I set that on purpose to be that way, but if you want to clear those, you just hit the tab button and then there's a lever here on the left side. You push it down, that'll clear each one of them. Look how smooth that is. Love this typewriter. There's nothing aggressive about it, it's just smooth. So now we shouldn't have any tabs set. It goes all the way to the end, very smoothly. So I'm gonna set one by flipping this lever up, right here in the middle, and it's gonna stop at that spot. Very nice. So we're gonna put the color selector all the way back up to blue so it prints black next time we type. Carriage release on each side, and the hood pops off from the front and it hooks in from the back with these 2 hooks. All the brand new ribbons loaded on the left side, so it's pulling to the right. If you want to switch that direction, there's a little holder behind each spool, and if you just swap it in the opposite direction, it'll switch the direction. And it's got an automatic ribbon control, so it'll automatically switch the ribbon to whatever direction has the least amount of ribbon. And we're just going to put these hooks back in, like this first, and then it snaps in from the front. Carriage lock on the right side here. You flip it up and then you just move the carriage to the middle. You flip it down, it'll lock it. So that's when you have it in the case. It protects the escapement. You flip it up, you get a free carriage. Very smooth carriage. Everything about this is smooth. It's the name of the game with this is smooth. So we already did 1, 2, and 3, but if you flip it all the way back to 0, it'll disable the spacing so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You flip it back to 1, then you get the clicks. Each one of those clicks is a half a space. Same concept when you push in that button, disables the spacing. And this line space lever locks in the back. It tucks in for when you have it in the case. Nice and compact. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.